Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you, and in this one we're talking about the Swedish election. What? What? That's a terrible idea, man. But, I mean, I want to do it. You're gonna make half the audience mad. People are gonna get upset.
They can handle
You're gonna
it.
say
They're
something
adults.
you shouldn't.
They'll understand.
Nobody likes politics. Just keep this
It's gonna
friendly
be okay.
lucky channel, man. Like, it'll be
Everybody's
awesome.
gonna
Just eat ice
survive
cream or something.
It's gonna be all right. They can take my perspective.
But I don't know, man. I think it's a bad idea. But
can I move forward?
you do what you want to do.
You're messing up my flow here, man.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
That's coming up. Before I begin, I just want to say I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not here to change your political opinion or to give mine. All I'm here to do is to provide education and analysis on, first of all, how the government works here and what I think could possibly happen in this election moving forward from an outsider's perspective, an American. So let's move into it. First of all, you have a parliament in Sweden made up of 349 people, and it's called the Riksdag. And basically, you have an election, and based on how much percentage that your party gets is how many seats you get in the parliament and get a chance to kind of decide elections. The party with the most seats has a prime minister that is elected. Currently, the Social Democrats have 31% of the vote. They have 113 seats, and the prime minister is Stefan Löfven. The second largest party in Sweden is the Moderate Party, and they have 84 seats, 23.3% of the vote from the 2014 election. And the third largest party is the Swedish Democrats, and they're led by Jimmy Åkesson, and he has 12.9% of the vote and 44 seats. And Ulf Kristersson is the leader of the Moderate Party. I should have mentioned that before. Now, we have other parties. I don't want to say they're insignificant, but I'm probably not going to focus on them when I talk about the election. We have the Green Party, we have the Center Party, the Left Party, the Liberal Party, and the Christian Democrats. They all get around between 4 to 5% of the vote, and that's what they got in the seats last year. Now, there's always a possibility that one of those parties can really take up, or people can be frustrated with the election and just cast their vote that way. I'm not sure, so I won't count them out completely. But let's focus on the three major parties and what kind of movement is going to happen there, because I think that's where the focus is going to be. If you look at the opinion polls, the Social Democrats have 26.3%, the Moderate Party has 22.1%, and the Social Democrats have 18.3%. I look at opinion polls like not too seriously if you look at the United States election. What I will say, though, is moving forward, I look at these parties and I look at where are we in the state of the world, where is the world heading, and what do I think? Now, first of all, if you look at just the world in general, we've had this frustration with people seem to have a frustration with how the status quo and maybe not happy with how government was working, at least in the United States. And you had what happened in England, you had Brexit, then you've had Donald Trump. You've had a rise of nationalism throughout Europe. I think of Holland, for example. I think of France, for another example, things that we've seen. And that definitely has happened here in Sweden as well. It was a shock in 2014 when the Swedish Democrats became I remember people being shocked about it when it happened at that time in 2014. So I look at these numbers, and I look at the Social Democrats, first of all, and I look at everything within a 5% range. And I mean, are they going to gain? They could gain 5 or lose 5%. What I mean by that is I don't see the Social Democrats. They could still be the #1 party, but I don't see them getting 31% of the vote. I think they've been the party that's been in power. They are the establishment right now, and there's a good chance that they're going to lose at the very least probably 5% of what they have. 5% of their votes. I think it's very, very possible that they could be a little bit under where they were. Maybe they get 24%, maybe they get 25%, maybe they get 22%. The question then becomes, where do those people cast those votes? Do they cast it to the Moderate Party or the Swedish Democrats? That I'm not sure of right now, but that's what I just think in general, looking at the Swedish population. I'm probably going to get a little less. The Moderate Party, I feel, has the most to gain here in this election, has the biggest chance to actually become a #1 party to get a chance to move forward. But the very interesting thing is the Swedish Democrats. They got 12.9%. They polled at 18.4%. We've had this rise of nationalism, which wasn't maybe happening throughout the world in 2014. So the question is, does that mean that they move forward? I'm going to say I don't see them getting less than 12.9% of the vote. It just doesn't seem possible to me. I think they're only going to get bigger. The question is, are they going to become the second or the third largest party? They might stay the third largest party, but I think it's very possible that they could become the second largest party in Sweden. If I was to guess, though, in my analysis here is simply due to the fact that if you look at the Swedish Democrats, I mean, and you look at the Social Democrats or whatever, I think the reasons they could lose power. I mean, we had the refugee crisis in Europe. We've had terrorism throughout Europe. I think that kind of plays into what they have said, and I think that might get them more votes. So I have to go wait and see. If I was to guess, my guess in this election is I believe that the moderate party is going to win the election, and I think the Swedish Democrats are going to become a larger party. I think that they're going to be closer to the 20% range as far as how much power they have. So my prediction would be I would put the moderate party at maybe 25-26%, just a percentage point away from the Social Democrats. So I'm going to put the moderate party first. I think the Social Democrats will probably be in second, but I think that the Swedish Democrats will surprise people and have more of the vote than people would think. But it all comes down to as well, if you look at these smaller parties here in Sweden, we got the parties of 5%. You look at the Green Party, again, I mentioned these smaller parties. They could be a wild card. People could vote for them or not. But the most important thing I want to encourage you is as we move forward and get ready to have an election here in Sweden, if you are someone Swedish, no matter what your political opinion is, I think the really important thing is that you get out there and you vote, you educate yourself, you learn about new things, and you have discussions about things that you need to talk about in politics in general. I think that's very, very important. So I hope you enjoyed my analysis. What did you think? Was I right? Did I say anything wrong about these parties? Is there something more you would like to add? This is just my approach to what I think is going to happen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.